Today's flashback story takes place at 1145 Broadway in Somerville. It happened on 5/29/1997 at 2 a.m. It's a double stabbing. News-wise, there wasn't too much going on that morning, and I had left downtown Boston to investigate some police calls that I was monitoring in Somerville. Once I got to Somerville and investigated, it turns out that there was nothing to it. Certainly no news story there. And I had locked my scanners in on Somerville Police and Fire, which was what I normally did when I left the city. Anyhow, shortly after I got through investigating what I came to Somerville for, the stabbing came in. I was fairly familiar with Somerville as I had lived there at one time, and I realized I was right down the street, probably no more than 400 or 500 yards from where the stabbing took place. So I zipped on up there, and this is what I found. There was one victim standing in the doorway to the building, and it was obvious he had been stabbed in the leg area. The victim had already lost a whole pile of blood, and considering the mess on the ground, it looked to me like a very serious situation for this guy. It looked like a couple of firemen were in the doorway trying to give him some assistance. Unbeknownst to me, and possibly to the firemen, the victim was in a condition where he could stand, but he could not get down on his own. He couldn't get down on the ground. It apparently takes a lot less strength to simply stand still than to try and get yourself down onto the ground, which, when I think about it, makes sense. When an EMT arrived to help this guy, first thing he wanted to do was to get him down. And as soon as the victim leaned just ever so slightly backwards, bam, he went out on his feet, totally unconscious. And fortunately for the victim, the EMT and the fireman had a hold of him, but they couldn't prevent him from falling a short distance. And as he went down, I'll never forget the sound of his leg hitting the cement, the thud. It was really eerie. Well, anyhow, they got this victim on the ground. They put him on a board, and eventually on a stretcher, and got him into the ambulance and transported him. My guess is that he was the victim with the least serious injuries, because the initial arrival of EMTs all went upstairs to work on another victim. Both victims were transported to unknown hospitals. I would guess probably taken into Mass General, considering the seriousness of the injuries. I couldn't find any newspaper reports on the incident, so I don't know whether either one or both of the victims survived. I would guess from the amount of blood that this guy had spilled on the sidewalk that he probably did not make it. I don't know about the victim upstairs because I really didn't see his injuries, but they must have been pretty serious. This was one of the most graphic stabbings I had seen. anyhow, that's our flashback news story for today. If you like these stories, I'd appreciate it if you clicked on the little old like button. That way other people might get a chance to actually see these stories also. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, you might want to hit subscribe. That way you'll be updated when new stories are put up. To see the actual video on this event, click on the link below and that'll take you right to it. Once you're there, if you want to come back here, click on the link beneath that video that says return. Well, anyhow, that's our flashback story for today. Keep the rubber side down, stay safe out there. Remember, there's danger everywhere. And also, remember, I'll be back.